Ladies and gentlemen, that there's one thing that separates success from mediocrity. It's not luck, it's not talent, it's not even opportunity. It's discipline, habits, and consistency, the holy trinity of achievement. You see, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, and failure, just a few small errors in judgment repeated every day. The choice is yours. Let's begin with discipline. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. It's the quiet force that turns a goal into an accomplishment, a dream into a reality, and a wish into a tangible result. Without discipline, everything else falls apart. You can have the most brilliant plan, the best ideas, the greatest ambitions, but without the self-control to act on them daily, they mean nothing. Jim Rohn often said that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, and that bridge must be crossed every single day if you want to reach your destination. Discipline is not about being perfect or rigid. It's about doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. The truth is, motivation is temporary. It fades the moment life gets inconvenient or uncomfortable. Discipline is what takes over when motivation leaves. It's that inner voice that says, do it anyway. When the alarm rings at 5 a.m. and every part of you wants to stay in bed, discipline pulls the blanket off and gets you moving. When you're tempted to skip your reading, your workout, or your work, discipline whispers, just one more page, one more rep, one more step. Over time, those small decisions compound into strength, character, and results. The power of discipline lies in consistency. One act of discipline won't change your life, but 1,000 will. It's not the single workout that transforms your body, but the discipline to show up day after day. It's not the single act of saving money that creates wealth, but the discipline to save and invest regularly. Each disciplined action is like laying a brick in the foundation of your success. And if you keep laying those bricks, one day you'll look up and see a structure so strong that nothing can shake it. Most people underestimate how much discipline it takes to achieve greatness. They admire successful people, but they don't see the sacrifices behind the scenes, the hours of practice, the long nights of study, the countless moments of saying no to distractions. Discipline is often lonely. It demands that you choose long-term satisfaction over short-term pleasure. It means doing what's right over what's easy, and yet it's in those moments of choice that character is formed. Discipline is also about respect. Respect for your own word, your time, and your potential. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you strengthen your self-respect. You prove to yourself that you can be trusted. On the other hand, every time you break that promise, you weaken your own confidence. That's why discipline isn't just about action. It's about integrity. It's about aligning what you say with what you do, over and over again, until they become one and the same. There's a saying that you can suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. Discipline may feel uncomfortable in the moment. You'll sweat, you'll strain, you'll sacrifice. But regret lingers far longer. It whispers what if for years. When you choose discipline, you choose freedom. The freedom to live on your own terms. The freedom to be proud of your results. The freedom to know that you gave your best effort. Discipline also builds momentum. Once you start practicing it, even in small ways, it begins to spill over into other areas of your life. When you discipline yourself to wake up early, you start eating better. When you discipline yourself to manage your money, you start managing your time. It's a domino effect that transforms who you are from the inside out. So discipline is not a punishment. It's a gift. It's the highest form of self-love. It says, I care about my future enough to act in the present. When you embrace discipline, you stop chasing success and start attracting it. You stop waiting for the right time and start creating it. Every disciplined action brings you closer to the life you desire. The bridge between your goals and your accomplishments is built one disciplined step at a time. And the moment you decide to walk across it, your journey toward greatness truly begins. Consistency is the secret multiplier that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. It's what turns small daily actions into unstoppable momentum. While discipline starts the journey and habits keep it going, consistency is what compounds the results. It's not about doing things perfectly. It's about showing up again and again, no matter how you feel, no matter what the circumstances are. The greatest achievements in life are not born from bursts of inspiration, but from the steady rhythm of consistent effort. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can accomplish in a year of consistent action. The truth is, greatness is not built in a day, it's built daily. The person who keeps going even when the excitement fades is the one who wins. Consistency doesn't make headlines. It's not glamorous or loud. It's the quiet, steady heartbeat of progress. You don't see the results immediately, and that's why so many people quit too soon. But the ones who stay the course, who keep doing the work even when it feels invisible, eventually see the power of compound growth take over. Think of consistency as a snowball rolling down a hill. At first it's small and slow, but as it keeps rolling, it gathers more snow, more weight, more momentum. That's exactly how consistent effort works. You may not notice the difference after one day or one week, but over months and years, that effort becomes unstoppable. Success rarely happens from one big leap. It happens from thousands of small, steady steps in the same direction. Consistency builds trust in yourself and from others. When you consistently keep your word, meet your goals, and follow through on your commitments, people begin to see you as dependable. But even more importantly, you begin to trust yourself. You develop self-belief, not because you made one grand decision, but because you prove through your actions that you are reliable. Every time you show up, you reinforce your identity as someone who doesn't quit. That self-trust becomes your inner power source, something that no one can take away. But consistency isn't about intensity. It's about sustainability. Anyone can work hard for a short period of time, but it takes character and patience to keep showing up long after the excitement fades. This is where most people struggle. They want fast results, but consistency requires faith. You must believe that your daily actions, even the ones that seem insignificant, are building something meaningful. The farmer doesn't plant seeds today and harvest tomorrow. He plants, waters, nurtures, and waits. The same principle applies to success. Consistency is your watering can. It keeps your dreams alive while time does its work. There will be days when you don't see progress, when it feels like nothing is changing. But those are the most important days to stay consistent. Because every time you push through resistance, you strengthen the muscle of perseverance. Each small victory compounds into larger achievements. Over time, the results become exponential. One day people will look at your success and call it sudden, but you'll know it was built one consistent step at a time. Consistency also creates momentum. When you do something repeatedly, it becomes easier. Your brain adapts, your habits strengthen, and your actions become second nature. What once felt like effort becomes effortless. This is the point where success starts to feel natural, not because it's easy, but because you've trained yourself to stay in motion. The power of momentum means that once you start, the hardest part is behind you. Inconsistency, on the other hand, resets your progress. Every time you stop and start, you lose momentum. You have to rebuild your rhythm. That's why the most successful people don't aim for perfection. They aim for consistency. They understand that missing a day isn't failure. Giving up is the secret is to keep coming back, to keep showing up, even after setbacks. Consistency doesn't just multiply results. It multiplies confidence, character, and credibility. It transforms effort into excellence and potential into performance. You don't need to be the fastest or the smartest. You just need to be the one who keeps going. Because success doesn't belong to those who start the most. It belongs to those who stay the longest. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Let consistency be your greatest multiplier. And soon you'll find that what once seemed impossible has become inevitable. Transformation doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design, through a deliberate combination of choices, actions, and persistence. The formula for transformation is simple, but not easy. Discipline creates habits. Habits shape consistency, and consistency determines destiny. Every part of this formula feeds the next, forming a cycle that continuously builds strength, character, and results. You can't skip any step. You can't buy it, borrow it, or fake it. Transformation requires doing the right things over and over until they become who you are. Discipline is the spark that ignites the process. It's the decision to take control of your behavior instead of being controlled by your emotions. Every time you choose discipline, waking up early, studying instead of scrolling, choosing patience over anger, you make a deposit into the bank of transformation. Discipline is hard, no doubt about it. It demands sacrifice and effort. But it's also liberating because it gives you power over your own life. The moment you master your actions, you start to master your results. Discipline is the starting line of change. Without it, nothing begins. Once discipline becomes part of your routine, it turns into habits. Habits are where transformation takes root. They automate success. The things that were once hard become second nature. You no longer have to push yourself to act. It becomes who you are. That's why transformation doesn't feel dramatic when it's happening. It's quiet, subtle, and consistent. You wake up one day and realize you've changed, not because of one big decision, but because of hundreds of small ones made with discipline. Habits turn effort into ease, and that's what makes lasting change possible. Then comes consistency, the force that ties everything together. Without consistency, discipline and habits fade away. Consistency is the daily commitment to keep going, even when you don't see results, even when you feel uninspired. It's the unglamorous part of transformation, the repetitive routine actions that most people find boring, but that's where the real growth happens. Consistency compounds effort into results. It's the difference between someone who starts strong and quits early, and someone who builds a legacy. The consistent person may not move fast, but they move forward, and that's what matters. The magic of this formula lies in its compounding effect. Discipline trains your will. Habits build your structure. Consistency multiplies your progress. Together, they create unstoppable momentum. And once you have momentum, transformation becomes inevitable. You no longer have to fight for motivation because your system is carrying you forward. Each piece supports the next in a self-sustaining cycle that keeps producing growth long after the initial effort. Transformation also requires patience. You can't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. The results of discipline, habits, and consistency appear slowly, like the seasons changing. At first you'll see no difference, and it will be tempting to give up. But if you stay faithful to the process, eventually the harvest will come. The formula always works. It's just that most people abandon it before it has time to bear fruit. Those who endure, who stay consistent long enough, are the ones who experience real transformation. What's remarkable about this formula is that it doesn't depend on talent, luck, or opportunity. Anyone can apply it. You don't have to be the smartest or the strongest. You just have to be disciplined enough to start, committed enough to build habits, and consistent enough to stay the course. The power is already within you. The formula simply helps you unlock it. Transformation isn't a one-time event, it's a lifelong process. It's about becoming a little better each day, a little stronger, a little wiser. The formula doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you are. It rewires your identity from the inside out. Over time, you stop forcing success and start attracting it because you've become the kind of person who lives it naturally. That's the real power of transformation. It doesn't just improve your life, it elevates your character. So when the journey feels hard, remember the formula. Discipline starts the motion. Habits keep it flowing. Consistency makes it unstoppable. And together they transform not just your results, but your entire destiny. The power of compounding is one of the most profound forces in life. It's the quiet miracle that turns small, consistent actions into extraordinary outcomes. Just as a single penny doubled every day for a month grows into millions, the tiny choices you make daily, often invisible to others, have the potential to multiply over time and reshape your entire life. The principle of compounding applies not only to money but to mindset, habits, health, knowledge, and character. Jim Rohn often said that success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. That's compounding at work, the steady accumulation of effort that eventually turns into transformation. Compounding works because time magnifies whatever you feed it. If you feed it discipline, growth, and learning, it multiplies your progress. If you feed it laziness, procrastination, or neglect, it multiplies decline. The effect isn't dramatic at first, it's deceptively quiet. In the beginning, your efforts seem to yield almost nothing. You go to the gym for a week and see no change. You save money for a month and your balance barely moves. You read a few pages a day and feel like it's too small to matter. But compounding is slow to start because it needs consistency to build momentum. It's like pushing a heavy flywheel, hard to move at first, but with each push it spins faster and faster until the momentum becomes unstoppable. The true beauty of compounding lies in its exponential nature. One good choice leads to another. Each effort builds upon the previous one, creating layers of progress. Over time, your growth stops being linear and starts being exponential. A small daily improvement of just 1% may seem insignificant today, but if you keep improving by that same amount every day for a year, you'll be 37 times better by the end of it. That's the power of small gains multiplied by time. This principle also applies to personal growth and mindset. Every positive thought you cultivate, every skill you learn, every act of kindness you perform adds interest to your inner bank account. The more you deposit, the richer your character becomes. Knowledge compounds too. The more you learn, the more you can connect ideas, see patterns, and make better decisions. Over years of learning and reflection, wisdom becomes the compounded result of all the lessons life has taught you. But compounding doesn't only work for the good, it works in reverse too. Neglect, like discipline, compounds. Skipping one day of exercise doesn't matter, but skipping many days forms a habit of avoidance. Spending money carelessly once won't ruin you, but repeating it over years will. The same small errors in judgment that seem harmless in the moment grow quietly until they become major problems. That's why awareness is so important. Every action either moves you closer to growth or decay. There's no neutral ground. The secret to unlocking the full potential of compounding is patience. It rewards those who stay faithful to the process. Most people quit because they don't see immediate results. They dig up the seed before it sprouts. But compounding is a game for those who can delay gratification and trust the process. The results may be invisible for a long time, but once they appear, they arrive all at once, as if overnight success suddenly bloomed from years of invisible effort. In reality, that success was growing quietly the whole time beneath the surface. The power of compounding also teaches humility and consistency. You don't need to make giant leaps to change your life. You just need to keep showing up, to keep doing the small things that matter. A small act done daily is more powerful than a massive effort done occasionally. Over time, your small daily disciplines compound into confidence, skill, health, and success. The process is slow but certain, and the results are permanent because they've been earned. So remember this truth: every action is a seed, every day is an opportunity, and time is the soil. What you plant and nurture daily will eventually grow into something far greater than you imagine. The power of compounding doesn't require brilliance, it requires belief, patience, and persistence. Keep showing up, keep improving, keep planting seeds of effort, and one day you'll look back and realize that the small steps you took faithfully every day created a life that many will call remarkable. That's the quiet magic of compounding. It turns the ordinary into the extraordinary through the passage of time and the persistence of action. So my friend, if you truly desire success, don't chase it, grow into it. Build the habits that lead there. Practice the discipline that maintains them. And stay consistent long enough for the results to compound. Success isn't something you pursue, it's something you attract by the person you become. And that person is built brick by brick through discipline, habits, and consistency. So today, make the decision. Be disciplined when it sets hard. Build habits that serve you. Stay consistent when no one sits watching. And one day you'll look back and realize you didn't just change your life overnight. You changed it one disciplined day at a time. Thank you.